some more Neet 2025 questions we'll discuss today. This is the one of the question which is given in 2025. That question comes from the topic of fields and applications. In this case, the question is okay. Without going to the question directly, we go to the concept of solving here. They're asking to find the values of the magnitudes of the given physical quantities. That is applications of the dimension formula. You know that applications of the dimension formula, three applications are there. In the third application, you can find the relation between the physical quantities by using the method of dimension analysis. So here also they are asking to find the A, alpha, beta, gamma, delta values using dimension analysis problem they give. So the given parameter is T is proportional to S power alpha, A power beta, and rho power gamma, R power delta. This is the question they are asking. They are asking to find the alpha, beta, gamma, delta as per the options. If you see the answers according to dimension analysis, we can able to find the dimension analysis only for three physical quantity relations. More than three, we can't find it easily. So that's what we are going to do is first we'll find the some relations, and by using the mathematical comparisons and by putting the values, we'll find the remaining values. So first, before going to that, we have to know the dimension formulas for the each physical quantity. In the question, what is T here? If you see the question, okay, the T is nothing but time here. If you see the question, what is the T? The T is nothing but time. So in the time of T, that means what the question given, they get taken one of the balloon, inside the gas is filled, which is having some surface tension S, and which is having some area, small area of cross section A, and that balloon having radius R. The density of that gas inside is rho. This is the way they given, and they are asking to find the relations of alpha, beta, gamma relations for that physical quantity. So what I'm doing is first write the dimension formula for each one. The dimension formula for the time is equal to nothing but simply m0 l0 t1. Simply I can write as t1. Okay. Next, what is S here? S is nothing but called as this is nothing but surface tension. Surface tension formula is force per unit length is the basic formula. So I can write as mlt minus 2 is the formula for force, by length is nothing but L. L get cancelled. So we are going to get mt minus 2 is the dimension formula for that, and there is no L here. Third one is A. A is called as area. The area dimension formula, you know that area is proportional to L square. So that is nothing but L square is the dimension formula for that. There is no mass, there is no time for that. Next dimension for the rho. Rho is called as density. So that dimension we can write it as density is equal to nothing but mass per unit volume. The dimension formula for this one m, volume dimension is L cube, that is L cube. If you make it in order, m L minus 3 is the dimension formula for density. Next we have R. R is nothing but, in the question if you see that is the radius is given. So to find the radius of that one, radius is nothing but here. So according to the dimension analysis third application, if you want to find the physical quantities magnitudes which are raised, we have to compare the right side powers of the physical quantity dimensions to the left side powers of the physical quantity dimensions. So if you observe this left side, only time is there, so I am writing left side equation dimension formula as m0 l0, only time is there, that is t1 is equal to right side. If you observe this one, we have a surface tension. What is the surface tension formula? Already written mt minus 1. So mt minus 2, not 1, mt minus 2 whole power alpha. Next, area. The area dimension formula already written, that is L square here, that is nothing but L square power raised by beta. And next one is density. The density dimension formula we written as ml minus 3, that is nothing but ml minus 3. The power is raised by gamma. And next one R. R is nothing but radius, nothing but L, that is L power delta. So this is the, we can write the expression. Now compare the dimension powers, mass powers compared with the mass powers of left to right, both sides. So what is the mass power here? First 0 here, left side. Right side mass power is here 1 mass power, that is alpha, and here mass power is 1 power gamma means that is gamma. I think you know that if the bases are same, power must be added here. So we are discussing the paper discussion, that's why we are going directly into the application. So in this case, alpha is equal to what I can write? Minus gamma. First relation we found here. Next, length. Both the sides length powers you compare. This length is power is raised by 0. This side, okay, first one there is no length. Second, here we have a length, okay, raised by 2 times and whole power beta, that is 2 into beta, that is becomes 2 beta. And here we have a minus 3 is there, minus 3 gamma, and here last term also we have a beta, that is nothing but plus delta. So in this case, 3 unknown, okay, terms are there, beta, gamma, delta. 3 don't know, you can't solve it. And go to the last one, okay, which one? Time. So left side time is power is raised by 1, and the right side time is equal to this. The first term we have time, that is minus 2 alpha, and there is no time, other time anywhere, so alpha is equal to minus 1 by 2. So first value we got, and substitute this alpha value in the first, okay, equation, so that we will get the gamma. Gamma is equal to minus alpha, so gamma is equal to minus of minus becomes, okay, that is plus 1 by 2. So you got the two values, one is alpha value, one is gamma value. So now you take the options here. If you observe the options directly here, if you are observing the options, so in these options, alpha value where it is minus, with gamma value where it is plus, you take it. Alpha value plus, first option, but here we got minus, so this option cannot be possible. Okay, this option, right? Next one, second option, if you see that, what is alpha value? Minus 1 by 2. Yes, we have minus 1 by 2. Now what is the gamma value? If you see the gamma value, we got plus 1 by 2, but here is minus 1 by 2, so this option also not correct. And third one, if you come across here, alpha value how much? Minus 1 by 2, this is minus 1 by 2. Gamma value plus 1 by 2, this is, both are correct, right? And go to the fourth option, alpha value plus 1 by 2, but our answer is minus, so is also not correct. So our answer is which one? Third option. We can go directly. If you want to calculate, okay, the remaining values are correct or not, if you want to check it, you can check it like this. What way? Take the beta value is equal to minus 1 and put this value here. We got alpha and beta, no? Substitute here. 0 is equal to 2 times of, okay, what is beta value? Beta is equal to, in the option given, minus 1. You check it by substituting that value. We'll verify the delta value. So minus 1 into minus 3 times of, what is gamma? 1 by 2, that is 3 by 2, and this plus delta. So find the delta value, what you are going to get here, that is equal to 0 is equal to, this is minus 2 minus 3 by 2 is, okay, plus delta. So delta is equal to what I can write here? Delta is equal to, make it this side, becomes 2 plus 3 by 2. 2 plus 3 by 2, how much? That is nothing but 7 by 2, plus 7 by 2. So look at the options here. If we taken beta is equal to minus 1, we got the delta is equal to 7 by 2. So third option is correct. Next question is related to units and dimensions, that is okay, one of the vernier calipers, instrumental physics based question. In this case, vernier calipers concept only given. In the vernier calipers, they given total vernier divisions, 10 divisions are there in the vernier calipers, which is coinciding with the 9 main scale divisions given. And the least division of the main scale is given 0.1 centimeter. As practically also, vernier scale, one main scale division is for 0.1 centimeter. And vernier is at x equal to 0.1, means here the least division of main scale 0.1 centimeter, and at the 0 of vernier scale. 0 of vernier scale means, if you see this one, this is called 0 of vernier scale. This 0, when this is the object, when the object is not present, at that moment what this 0 has to coincide with this 0. Then that means there is no error. But actually in this question, what is given? The 0 of the vernier scale is at x equal to 0.1. Where is 0.1? This is the line, red color line which I given. This is the 0 point line. So this 0, okay, is coinciding it at this point. Understanding? So when the 0 is coinciding with this, okay, 0.1 means it is not exactly at 0 to 0. 0 of the main scale is not coinciding with the 0. That means there is a 0 error. Okay. Now when jars are kept near. Now what the question they're asking, if the main scale reading is 5 centimeter, means the measured value of this object, if object is measured, the main scale reading, it is coinciding with the 5 centimeter, and number of vernier coincident. That means in this vernier scale, okay, the 8th of the vernier scale, this is the, okay, vernier reading which is coinciding. 8, number 8 is coinciding here, right? that line of that one is moving. So just try to understand, right? So 8 divisions are coinciding. So Vernier coincidence equal to how many divisions? 8 divisions. The diameter after zero error is. They're asking to find the measurement of that one after zero error. Means first with zero error how much it is generally. First find the least count of the instrument. Least count of the instrument is how much? That is 0.01 centimeter for any vernier calipers. If we, okay, condition of main scale divisions are different and vernier scale divisions are different given, then it is in this case the value has to be calculated using one main scale division minus one vernier scale division using vernier scale divisions. So in this case directly given main scale divisions are vernier scale divisions are 9 is 10 is given, naturally 10 lines will be there, and main scale divisions also according to that one they give. So least count of this vernier calipers is equal to 0.01 centimeters we have, right now. So what is the total reading measuring of this one? In this case the main scale reading how much it is showing 5. So total reading is equal to actual main scale reading plus and vernier coincidence into least count you have to take. This is the measure of reading for complete reading. So what is the main scale division? How much, what length it is measuring? 5 centimeters. So that is 5 plus vernier coincidence. How many divisions it is coinciding with vernier? That is 8 divisions. 8 into least count of that instrument, which is different for different instrument. In this case, vernier calipers is 0.01 centimeters. So what the value? How much you are going to get? That is 5.08 centimeters you are going to get reading. This is with error. Why? Because the zero of the vernier scale is not coinciding with zero of the main scale already, because it is coinciding at 0.1. It has to coincide at 0 initially, but it is coinciding at already one division ahead. That means 0.1 centimeter ahead. 0.1 centimeter ahead means how much ahead it is, that much you have to minus it from the reading. Means the actual reading will becomes 5.08 centimeters minus 0.1 centimeter, that is 0.10 centimeters. You have to remove it because the zero vernier scale is not starting from 0, it is starting from 0.1 excess value. You have to remove it for exact reading. So that means this value will become how much? 4.98 centimeters. So if you observe the options, first option 5.18, 5.08, third option 4.98, fifth option 5. So which is the correct one? Third option is correct, that is 4.98 centimeters. The next question is given based on parallel plate capacitor. The parallel plate capacitor is made up of the one of the circular plate like that given, which is circular plate, which is charged. The charge density is increasing. So as the charge density is increasing, what happens? Potential also increases. So due to that potential increase, what happens? There is electric field created between the plates of the capacitor. That change in electric field produces the magnetic field. So due to that displacement current always takes place across the between the plates of the capacitor, and that plates, if you taken this plate and this way, the electric field will exist between the two plates of the capacitor, right? Now here concept is, if you taken a circular region here, now from the center, if you taken as axis like this, from center, what happens? The magnetic field is going to be increases as circle of influence is increases. So because more the number of electric lines, more the magnetic field, less the number of electric lines, less the magnetic field. Now in this case, this magnetic field, whatever it is produced, we can calculate based on basic formula. B is equal to mu naught I by R. We can take. This is one of the circular coil carrying current. The magnetic field due to that one is called mu naught I by R. In this case, according to chosen circle, if you choose the small circle, in this case, what is the magnetic field in this small circle of that region? If you want to calculate, that is nothing but we can write as area of that one per unit area, because the maximum area which you can develop across these plates between the capacitors, that is the area of the plates of the capacitor. So this is the formula I can use, and in this formula, if you substitute the values, mu naught I by R into what is small a, the area of this small circuit, that is nothing but we can write as small pi r square by this is capital. In this case, this RR I can cancel. Now if you observe this question, what is given question? Surface charge density is increasing, right? And increasing at constant rate given. Constant rate means the change of that value is equal to 0. So in this case, I by A is called as current density, that is constant, mu naught is constant. So Here in this case we have 1, r is left, so I can write the relation b is proportional to r. So b is proportional to r means as the radius is increases, that means as the radius of the circle, if you are increasing in between the plates of the capacitor, the magnetic field strength also increases. So the graph, if you taken, the graph of this one will be okay increasing like that until still up to the radius of that one. Okay, what radius? Up to the circular. Okay, how much area of the plate we taken up to that radius, it is increases. And outside, if you come across the outside of this one, the magnetic field is strength is going to be decreases. So that means the decreasing factor we can write in terms of like this. So b is proportional to r inside and b is inversely to square of the distance outside according to concept. So in this case we can come across the options: 0 at all places, no, magnetic field is not 0 at all places, only 0 at the center, because if there is no area, there is no magnetic field, so that means at the center is 0, remaining all places not 0. And constant between the plates and 0 outside of the plate, constant between the plates and 0 outside. The magnetic field also effective outside because electric field is spread all over the side, so second option also not correct. Third one is non-zero everywhere with maximum at imaginary cylindrical surface. This is the okay cylindrical surface, like if you taken this way, you can take the cylindrical surface like this way, I can take the cylindrical surface like. So this is what they're saying. If you imagine like it is a cylindrical surface, in this case maximum at imaginary cylindrical surface, this is the surface, and at this surface it is maximum because area is maximum, so magnetic field also maximum, and connecting to periphery of the plates. Okay, and that is the third option. Fourth option, 0 between the plates and non-zero outside. Between the plates anyway it is not 0. Okay, it is not 0 here, there is a magnetic field is there, outside also is there, so the option 3 is correct according to given options. This question is related to physical optics. An unpolarized light of beam traveling in a medium of refractive index 1.73 at a Brewster angle, then what is the option is correct? So in this case all the question options are given based on reflected light based, all are reflected light and transmitting light completely, right? So find the reflected light which is reflecting. This is the one of the light which is incident. If we say an angle of incident called as polarized angle of incident, then this is called reflected ray. So this reflected ray makes an angle is equal to some r, that r value is equal to IP, because in the instant law of reflection concept, instant angle equal to reflecting. So to find the reflecting angle, we need to find the instant polarized angle. So according to Brewster's law, we know that refractive index of the medium is given. So according to this one, we have a relation of Brewster's law, mu is equal to tan IP, where I is called as polarized angle of incidence. So find the IP value from this. Okay, so tan IP is equal to nothing but root 3. Root 3 value in terms of tan theta, that is nothing but tan 60 degrees. Tan 60 degrees root 3. So comparing this, IP value is equal to how much we are going to get? 60 degrees. So instant angle of polarization is 60. And now that means this is 60 degrees, means automatically the reflecting angle also becomes 60 degrees. So if you see the option first one, reflected light is completely polarized and the angle of reflection is close to 60 degrees. So completely means here whenever you come across the case of polarization, so the unpolarized when it is instanted, in this case, okay, this is the direction where you are going to get the polarized light. This is the direction transmitted will be partially polarized light. So completely polarized light you are going to get at 60 degrees angle of reflected light. Second option, reflected light partially polarized, an angle of close to 30. Second option is not correct anyway. Third option, both reflected and transmitted lights are perfectly polarized. No, it is also not possible, only reflected light is okay having, and fourth also not correct. So first option is correct for this question. Next question is electrostatics. They given two spheres, I taken already in the diagram, A and B, both are having same charge Q and Q. Now the force of repulsion between them is F. So what we are doing is we taken up one more similar sphere, that is C, that we are first touching with the A, then after that sphere C again we are touching to the B. Now what is the force between the two initial spheres A and B? Now here we need to understand, here whenever the two spheres, charged spheres are touching each other, there is a distribution of charge takes place. In this case, A sphere having charge Q and the C sphere, okay, third sphere is uncharged conducting. Uncharged means there is no charge here, that is equal to Q is equal to 0. So no charge. When it is contacted, what happens? There is a distribution of charge takes place between the A to C. Then after the C will, okay, have some charge. The C will have some charge. Now that charge C, after gaining, the charge on the QC will be again distributed with B. Now finally, there is a final charge is going to be accumulated on A and B as a Q dash and Q double dash. First, what I'm going to do is I'm calculating the force between the two. Okay, sphere C is proportional to, that is, now you know that is Q square by Q1, Q2 by R square is the relation. In this case, we are not discussed any distance. So under the same distance parameter, F is proportional to, that is Q1, Q2, like we can take it, product of two charges. So first, if you come across A and B, the force between these two is equal to F is proportional to Q square, because both are having same charge. Okay, next, second, now the C is contact with A. When the C is contact with A, now there is a distribution of charge takes place. At that moment, the Q dash, the charge on the first will becomes equal to the average distribution. The charge on the A is Q plus the charge on the C value is equal to 0 by 2. That means the charge will become Q by 2. So the sphere A acquires the charge is equal to how much? That is Q by 2 it acquires. The sphere C also acquires the charge Q by 2. Both acquires the similar charge due to distribution of charges. Now the C, now again we are contacting with the B again. So what happens now? There is a distribution of charge takes place between which one? B and C. So what is the new charge on the B? That becomes Q double dash. Q double dash is equal to, what is the charge on the actually? That is Q plus what is the charge on the C? That is Q by 2. By 2 average charge we are going to get. This value is equal to how much? That is 3Q by 2 into 2, that becomes 4. 3Q by 4 is the new charge. So Q dash is equal to Q by 2. Q double dash is equal to 3Q by 4. So we got the new charges on the A and B. Now take the concept of force between the two spheres. When the two spheres having charge, the force between them can be calculated. In the case of first one, that is F is proportional to Q square, already be taken. In the case of second one, that is F dash, you take it, new force. Okay, this is I am taking as new force, F dash. F dash is proportional to Q1, Q2. One charge is how much? One charge is nothing but, that is Q dash. I am taking as this is Q dash into Q double dash. Now take the ratio in terms of okay, this F dash by F is equal to, I can write as F dash is nothing but Q dash into Q double dash by Q square, I can write. Now what is Q dash value? Q dash value is Q by 2 and Q double dash value is equal to how much? That is 3Q by 4 is divided by, that is Q square, you can write. So in this case, this Q square, this Q value get cancelled, that is 3 by 8 you are going to get. So if you solve this one, F dash is equal to how much you are going to get? That is 3 by 8 times of F you are going to get. So 3 by 8 times of F. So which option is correct? You can check it by observing the options. So options is 3F by 8 means fourth option is correct, that is 3F by 8. The next question is related to kinetic theory of gases. And in this, the container, they given one of the two container chambers, this one chamber, this another chamber, having volumes 2 and 3 liters, which is filled with a gas of 5 moles and 4 moles gas at a pressure of 1 atmosphere to atmosphere. And these two containers are separated by insulated wall. You can see the diagram here, insulated wall. There is no exchange of gas takes place. What they are saying, when partition is removed, when the partition means when this one is removed, okay, then with this partition is removed, then what happens? This both the gases will mix together at equilibrium, okay, condition, at a particular condition. They're asking at equilibrium what is the pressure. Equilibrium pressure means temperature. In this case, temperatures are not given. That means you have to have a constant temperature condition you have to take. Whenever the constant temperature condition, if we taken PV value becomes equal to constant, pressure and volume becomes constant. So in this case, initially, okay, separately when mixed together, what happens? Both volumes are going to be mixed together. So it attains a common pressure P, but volumes are going to be mixed V1 plus V2. this value will becomes equal to P1 V1 because initially pressure is P1 volume V1 plus P2 V2. This is the concept we can use. Now apply the values in this. They are asking to find the equilibrium pressure, that is P. P is equal to P1 V1 plus P2 V2 by V1 plus V2 by. So what is P1 value? Pressure of 1 atmosphere, volume is nothing but 2 liters, and plus, and pressure 2 atmosphere for the second one into volume of that one is 3 by, and V1 plus V2. What is V1 here? Volume of first one is 2 and the second one is 3. We solve this one. The effective pressure of these two combination, 3 plus 6. Okay, this is 3, then this is 6. That is 9 by 5 here. Okay, 9 by 5 means nearly 1 point. If you come across the case of this, okay, 1.8, we are going to get ATM. 1.8 atmosphere. If you look at the options, there is a fourth option is correct for this question. Next question, this is related to gravitation and Bohr's model linked question. The question is given: a particle of mass m is moving around origin. This is the origin. It is moving around in circular path, and there is a force is acting towards its center, that is constant pulling force towards the origin, they said. And if you apply the Bohr's model to this, then asking that if that radius of this orbit is nth orbit, if it is suppose, then they're asking to find the speed of the particle and radius of the particle. Okay, the radius of the particle they're asking in terms of nth orbit. So to explain this one first, if you are taking the consideration of only gravitation based, in this case the centripetal force we can write as F equal to mv square by r according to its radius, right? In this case mv square by r is a pulling force which is acting towards its center, like we can take it, right? In this case if you come across a relation of this one, r is proportional to v square, we can take from this equation, because force is constant, they said, mass is also constant, so radius of the circle which is generated by this mass is in the nth orbit is equal to r is proportional to v square, we can write, right? Next, what is given in the Bohr's orbit? That means if it describes the motion of radius of nth orbit. So according to any particle which is under the rotation of the circular motion, so what is constant here? Angular velocity is constant, angular momentum is constant. So according to Bohr's theory, we know that angular momentum of any particle or electron revolving around the origin is equal to L is equal to mvr is constant. This mvr is equal to, according to seconds Bohr's postulate, nh by 2 pi value it is equal. So using this first condition, using this second condition, we can find the required values. First, what is the required value? You can find the r value. If you want to find the r value, r is equal to v square, no? So I want to find the r value. Remove this v. So what is the v value you get? Remaining all are constant, just you compare with. So that means Vr is proportional to n. You take it. So V value is equal to, in terms of R, what I can write, that is square root of R into R is proportional to n. So if you solve this one, square root of R means how much you get? R power, that is 1 by 2 plus 1, that is nothing but 3 by 2 you get. 1 by 2 plus 1 is 3 by 2, okay, is proportional to n. So that means what is R? R is proportional to n power 2 by 3 in relation. Similarly, to get the velocity, what you do is same formula. Vr is proportional to n. So replace the R with velocity. What is R with velocity? V into R velocity in terms of velocity is v square is proportional to n. So that means this is v cube is proportional to n. So v is proportional to n power 1 by 3. So option is R is proportional to n power 2 by 3 and V is proportional to n power 2 by 3. R is proportional to n power, that is 1 by 3. This is 1 by 3 is there, and V is proportional to n power 2 by 3. So second option is correct. Next question is related to same gravitation, complete gravitation. So using Kepler's third law based question, the radius of the Meridian orbit around the Sun is about 4 times the radius of the Mercury. So that means one planet is revolving around the Sun, and the radius of that one is 4 times the Mercury radius. The Meridian year on that around the sun is 687 days compared to Earth, that is Earth days, and which of the following length 1 year on the Mercury? That means how many days will be there on the Earth in terms of they are asking. So in this case, whenever the planet is revolving around the another planet, you know that square of the time period is proportional to cube of the radius. So here radius of the sun, that means the radius of the Manhattan orbit around the sun is equal to how much? 4 times of radius around the Mercury. So time taken around the sun is how much? 687 days. They're asking to calculate the time around, okay, which one? Mercury, in terms of 1 year based, Earth year based. So based on this one, first I can write T1 by T2 whole square is equal to, that is R1 by R2 whole. We can write directly. So our requirement is nothing but, what is T1 in the place of T1? Ts I can write, that is nothing but Ts by Tm. Ts by Tm is equal to nothing but R1 value, nothing but Rs by Rm whole square. So directly you can substitute, whole cube. This is whole square. So simply to get the Tm value, first I'm writing Ts by Tm is equal to nothing but, so that is Rs by Rm whole power, that is 3 by 2 you get. Substitute the values in this and calculate. So first Ts by Tm is equal to how much you are going to get? Rs value. How much Rs? That is 4 times of Rm. That is 4 times of Rm by Rm whole power 3 by 2. So this Rm get cancelled. So this 4 can be written as in terms of 2 square. This 2 square whole power 3 by 2. So this 2 to cancel, 2 cube. 2 cube means how much you get? That is 8 you get. This is equal to 8. So what that means, Tm is equal to how much? Ts by 8 value. Ts value how much? 687 days. Okay, by 8. This value nearly you are going to get, that is 88. Okay, 88 Earth days you get. Nearly this value you are going to get 88 point something. That you can take it as according to options 88 days. So answer for the question is 88 days. So first option is correct. This question is related to gravitation. What they given? A body of weight is 48 newtons. This is the weight 48 newtons is given when it is kept on the surface of the Earth having radius r. Now when this body is taken to a height of 1/3 of the radius of the Earth, now what is the weight of this? Here you have to understand that you know that gravity value changes height to height. Okay, as the altitude changes, automatically gravity changes. So as the gravity value changes, weight of the body also changes. So new weight of the body is equal to mg dash. So what is g dash? That is gravity, new gravity. The gravity, okay, the new gravity at that height is equal to, what I can write, g dash is equal to g times of the formula we can use. What formula we can, if you want to use this one, you can go for the basic formula. So how we can go? G is inversely to r square. Okay, G is inversely to square of the distance. We can write F is equal to gmm by r square. So F is inversely to r square. G is also inversely to r square. That relation we can use it here. So in this case, we use that relation G dash by G is equal to nothing but what I can write, that is r square by, at a height of that one, that is r plus h whole square, because the distance from here to center of the Earth to the height of that one is equal to h plus r. So r plus h whole square. So in this case, if you solve this one, this is r square by, okay, r plus h value is equal to r by 3 whole square. If you solve this one, how much you are going to get? This equation you are going to get g dash equal to g times of, that is r square by, that is 3r plus r, that is 4r by 3 whole square. And if you solve this one, here r square cancel, I can write as g dash equal to g into, okay, this we can write as r square by, that is 16 r square by 9, you get that 9 can we make it up. So r square get cancelled. This equation we are going to get, okay, 9 times 9 by 16 times of g is the gravity at that place. So now what is the weight of the body? The weight of the body W is equal to, on the surface is 48 newtons. and at that certain height is equal to, that is mg dash. So mass value not given. If you want to get that mass value, you can take that mass value from this equation. So what is the mass value? Mass value is equal to 48 by g value. We can take it. Okay. So 48 by g. Substitute that one. Mass of that one is equal to 48 by g into g dash value. How much you got? That is 9 by 16 g you got. So this gravity we can cancel. Okay. And by after calculation of this one, we get 16 3s are 3 9s are 27. So the new weight of the body at that height is equal to how much? 27 newtons is the answer to your question. So which option is correct? The second option is 27 newtons is correct. Next question from current electricity. I given take the diagram directly here. They taken one of the wire of length L whose resistance is R. Now that wire R we cut into 8 equal pieces. If you cut into 8 equal pieces, 1, 2, so on, like 8 pieces, each piece resistance becomes how much? R by 8. That's the concept here. From these pieces, what you are doing, two equivalent resistances are made. We are finding we are doing two equivalent resistance by adding 4. By adding 4 of these together in parallel. 4 of these together means I taken 4 pieces, 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 pieces I taken here. These I combined like this as parallel. If we combined as a parallel combination, we will get one set of effective resistance. Again, remaining 4 also I combined as another set of resistance. This one you can take it as, okay, R2, and this one I can take it as R3. So what is R2 value? Each resistance wire how much? That is, each one is equal to R by 8. So how many resistors are there? 4. If you are connecting any resistors in parallel combination, effective resistance becomes R by N. How much? R by N. That means already this resistor is R by 8 into 4. That means becomes R by 32. When resistors are connected in parallel combination, resistance, effective resistance becomes R by N. Series combination increases, parallel combination decreases. So R2 value will becomes, becomes how much? This value will becomes equal to R by 32. This value also becomes equal to R by 32. This is. Now what the question? Then these two sets, this is one set, this is second set. These two sets now added in series. Now we are adding in series directly. If we add it in series, now what is the effective resistance they're asking? So these two combinations, effective resistance they're asking. So effective resistance RE is equal to R by 32 plus R by 32, 2 times of R by 32 we have, that is equal to nothing but R by 16 is the answer to the question. That means which option is correct? You can check it. That is third option is correct, R by 16. The next question is related to de Broglie's concept and Bohr's concept combination. So in this case, they given de Broglie wavelength of electron orbiting in the second orbit state of hydrogen atom is close to nearly how much is the wavelength of the electron which is revolving in the second orbit. They are asking to calculate in terms of nanometers. Given Bohr's radius is 0.052 nanometers is given. First, we have to know that. So the radius of a given orbit, second orbit radius, we need to calculate. So the radius of the second Bohr's orbit is R0 into n space, the initial relation. We know that. So initial radius is given 0.052 into the radius of this one is equal to n value how much? Second orbit they are asking. So multiply with the 4. So how much we are going to get? The radius of that orbit which is revolving is equal to, if you solve this one, okay, nearly you are going to get 0.208 of nanometer. Pre-calculated value I am writing here. This is the value you are going to get. The radius of the second orbit is, we got 0.208 nanometers. When it is revolving in that one, it Bohr's orbit, it follows the Bohr's postulates, right? So what is constant in the Bohr's postulate? Angular momentum. So what is angular momentum? MBR is equal to NH by 2 pi concept we can apply. And using this concept, I can write one of the concept here. Okay, I can include one of the concept. They're asking which question? Wavelength lambda. Lambda is equal to, according to de Broglie's, that is h by p. What is p here? P is called momentum. That is nothing but h by mv. So here from this equation, if you observe this one, h by mv, that is h by mv is equal to, I am writing as lambda. That lambda is equal to, h value is here, mv value is here. If you write that one, h by mv is equal to, we can write as 2 pi r by n. I can write. lambda is equal to 2 pi r by n. So r value already we calculated here. So lambda is equal to, wavelength is equal to 2 into pi value is 3.14, we can take it, r22 by 7 also we can take it, and radius of that orbit we already calculated, that is 0.208 nanometers. So answer also we get in nanometers. N is the number of orbit, that is second orbit, we can write it. So if we calculate this value, and we are going to get 3.14 into 0.208, we are going to get this value is approximately, after calculation we are going to get is 0.67 nanometers. It will come nearly. So in the given options, the second option will comes for this question. Next question from the electrostatics, dipole moment concept. So you know that whenever you taken the dipole having dipole moment P, and it is always aligned in the direction of the electric field. So initially the angle between these two is equal to 0 degrees, initial position. So here the dipole moment value is given according to question, that is 5 into 10 power minus 6 centimeters dipole length, and electric field strength is given 4 into 10 power 5 Newton per kilo. At what angle, if it is rotated through an angle of 60 degrees, if it is rotated through an angle of 60 degrees, the dipole is rotated through an angle of 60 degrees. Now what they're asking to find change in, change in the potential energy. They're asking change in the potential energy. What is the potential energy formula? We have different formulas are there. Potential energy while rotating the dipole is equal to minus P cos theta, one formula. Second formula, d delta U is equal to P into cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2, and change in potential energy is equal to P into 1 minus cos theta. So according to the two different angles given, this is the formula we use, cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2. Only particular single position means first equation, but here starting it is aligned in the direction of electric field means at 0 angle it is given. From the 0 angle to 60 angle means this is the formula we are going to use. The change in potential energy of the dipole is equal to, that is delta U is equal to, that is PE into 1 minus cos theta. So substitute the values in this. What is P value? That is 5 into 10 power minus 6. And electric field value 4 into 10 power 5 into 1 minus theta value cos 60 degrees here, because at that position. So if we solve this one, this is 20, 5 into 4 20, this is 10 power minus 1 is left, and into 1 minus cos 60 value 1 by 2, 1 minus 1 by 2. We solve this one, this 0, this cancel, that is 2 into 1 minus 1 by 2 is nothing but 1 by 2, that is nothing but 1. Okay, joules we are going to get. So if you look at the options, first option 0.8, second option is 1.0. So energy always we are measuring in terms of joules. The option, okay, that means the answer for this question is second option is correct, 1 joule. This question from the current electricity. The question is given, a constant voltage of 50 volts is maintained between the point A and B. In the circuit you can see this is the point A, this is the point B. We are maintaining the voltage between A and B using 50 volts battery. And the current through the branch CD, they're asking what is the current across this branch. They're asking I is equal to how much. So first we have to understand this battery delivers the actual current, that is you take it as I current. This I current will be divided into two parts, that is one current as I1 current, second current is I2 current. Now that I1, I2 currents are going to passes through this one. In this case I can calculate this. ICD current we need to calculate to find the current of this one. So first we have to calculate the actual current flowing through the circuit here. So to calculate the actual current I, so I is equal to, according to concept, that is E by R. Yes or no? E by R means total potential by total resistance. Here we are not having one resistor. Before doing this, first check it that what way is it, the V-stone construction is there or not, because 4 resistors are there. So here if you take and observe that one, it's not looking like V-stone bridge, because P by Q 1 by 2 is not equal to 3 by 4. So it is not a V-stone bridge. So we have to calculate the current in the circuit totally. First, what is the current in the circuit totally? I is equal to E by R, E is equal to 50. R is called effective resistance of the circuit. So effective resistance of the circuit, how to find it? So we have to find the effective resistance of the above given circuit. Here I taken the reduced circuit of that one, 1 and 3, because C point D point are short circuit like, it is the same point. So 1 and 3 are in parallel, 2 and 4 is in parallel. So I can find the effective resistance between A and B, that is gives the total effective resistance of the circuit. So that means effective resistance is equal to 1 and 3 is parallel, means what is the effective resistance? 1 into 3 by 1 plus 3, and it is series with this, okay, connected continuously, plus 2 and 4 also in parallel combination, that is 2 into 4 by 2 plus 4. So if you calculate this value, you are going to get, that is 3 by 4 plus 8 by 6. You're going to get 8 by 6 means this is 2 table, 2 fours and 2 threes, 4 by 3. 3 by 4 plus 4 by 3. Effective resistance of 3 by 4 plus 4 by 3 value, if you calculate LCM, is becomes 12. 12 LCM if you taken, that is 9 plus 16 we are going to get, that is equal to 25 by 12. So this is the effective resistance in terms of ohm for the complete circuit. So what is the current in the circuit? The total current in the circuit I is equal to nothing but 50 by, so that is 25 by 12. That 12 will goes to the numerator. 25 how many times? 2 times. So that becomes 24 amperes of current is flowing across the circuit due to this combination. Now find the current across, okay, the 1 ohm resistor, 3 ohms resistor, 2 ohms resistor and 4 ohms resistor. And you got the idea that these two are connected in parallel combination, so potential drop across this one is same. So to how to find the potential drop across this one, here in this case both are connected in parallel combination. Effective resistance is how much? 3 by 4, right? So that means you know the resistance value and you know the current value, total current value. So using that, V is equal to IR I can use, okay. So we need to find the value of current. I is equal to V by R, I is equal to V by R. What is V value? V value is equal to, so sorry, we need to find V only. So in this case, to find the V value, I into R, what is I value? Current is equal to 24 amperes and resistance is how much? 3 by 4. So 4 6, this is nothing but 18 volts. So potential drop across that one is equal to how much you got? 18 volts across this one. These two are parallel, right? So here this is the potential difference 18 volts, this is also potential difference 18 volts. So when they are parallel, potential is same across 1 and across 3 ohms. 1 ohm, 3 ohms potential drop is same. Using ohms like I made I1, okay, R1 is equal to, that is I3, R3 we can write. So the ratio of currents in the 1 and 3, I1 by I3 is equal to, I can write as R3 by R1. What is R3? That is 3 by 1 ratio. So how much current is flowing across the 1 ohm resistance? I can calculate the current across a 1 ohm resistance is equal to I1 is equal to total 3 by 4 part, means that is 3 by 4. Total parts 3 plus 1, 4 of the total current. Total current how much? 24 amperes. That is, if you taken, that is 18 amperes is current is flowing across which one? 1 ohm resistance current. This is the current which is flowing in this is equal to 18 amperes. Current is flowing across this 18 amperes. Next, if we come across the 3 ohms, how much current is flowing across the 3 ohms? 3 ohms current, that is nothing but we can write as I3 is equal to nothing but, similarly, this is how much part? 1 part, that is 1 by, okay, part of total, that is 1 by 4 part of 24 volts, that is nothing but 6 amperes is flowing across this one, okay. You check it, that one, that is totally 1 by 4, 1 by 4 of total current, that is 24, that is 6 amperes of current is flowing across this one. That means the current across this one is equal to how much? 6 amperes current is flowing across this. Now, what is the current across the 2 ohms and 4 ohms? To find the current across 2 ohms and 4 ohms, again they are parallel, right? So to find the current across 2 ohms and 4 ohms, first if you observe this one, already here 18 volts is dropped. Total 50 volts. In that 18 volts is dropped across this, means what is the remaining voltage dropping here? That is 32 volts will be there across these resistances, right? Again here also you apply the thing, V2 is equal to V4, that means I2 into, that is, okay, R2 is equal to, that is I4 into R4 we can use. So ratio of currents I2 by I4 I can use as R4 by R2 I can use, that is equal to 4 by 2, nothing but we'll get how much? So in this case, simply directly also we can go it, go, this is 2 times, this is 2, this is 4 means this is double. So resistance is more means current will be half. Resistance more means current will be half. So total potential how much? 32. Total resistance of this branch how much? 4 by 3. Right? So that means what is the current across this? If you want to calculate, I2 current is equal to I2 current is equal to, if you want to calculate, that is okay, 2/1 ratio. That means that is 2/3 parts of total voltage, 32. Check it, that one, that is 2/3 part of total current. So in this case, no need to take the ratio of I1/2. The current across 2 ohms, 4 ohms if you want required. This is the resistance value, this is the voltage value. You can go directly current value. The current across I2 is equal to I is equal to V by R, right? So what is voltage across that one? 32 volts by resistance how much? 2. That is equal to 16 amperes is flowing across that. Now what is the current across 4 ohms resistance? I4 is equal to also V by R. What is voltage? 32. Resistance 4, that is equal to 8 amperes. So if you take on this one, the resistance across 2 ohms, what is the current is flowing? The across this one, the current is flowing, we got as 16 amperes, and here we got 8 amperes. So if you take on the actual diagram of our previous one, here how much you got? This is 16 amperes current is flowing, here 8 amperes current is flowing. So if you observe here, the current I1 18 amperes is coming here, that the current is going into two parts. One is 16 amperes, means what is the remaining current? 2 amperes. Now this 2 amperes and 6 amperes together going as a 8 amperes. So what is the current across C, D branch, C branch, D branch? The current which is flowing is equal to how much? That is 2 amperes. So the option for this question, if you observe that, so in the 4 options, the second option is correct answer. The next question is given based on de Broglie's theory. In the de Broglie's theory, what is given? They are asking a photon and electron having same energy, and they're asking to find the ratio of photon to the electron wavelength. That means photon to electron wavelength they're asking to find in terms of mass and energy. Both are having same energy. So here, according to the concept of here, proton, okay, so wavelength is equal to h by momentum, right? So in the case of photon, that we can write lambda p by lambda e is equal to, so it is inversely to momentum. Okay, inversely to momentum means the photon momentum is depends on mass into speed of the light. It is the energy of the radiation, and electron is having mass, more mass, so that is we can write as mass into velocity. Next, energy based concept, if you are coming across energy of any particle, that is nothing but kinetic energy in terms of momentum, m into v called momentum. So we can write as in terms of 2 into m into mass into energy, we can write. This is one of the relation. Sorry, which one? Momentum of the particle. So the momentum of the particle, we can write the relation as p is equal to, momentum is equal to under root of 2m into e. So here, if you observe this one in the, okay, the wavelength related to photon is mc given, right? So energy is equal to, according to Einstein equation, mc square, you know that we can write as mc into c. So mc value will become equal to e by c. So take the mc value here, e by c. So lambda p by lambda e is equal to, that mass into velocity I can write in terms of momentum as 2 into m into energy by this electron, okay, wavelength, sorry, the photon wavelength corresponding to energy is E by C, I can write. That is nothing but E by C. E by C. By solving this one, what you are going to get? This is lambda P by lambda E is equal to, so this is under root of, yeah, I am taking the single same root 2 m into E by, this becomes E square and by C square. That C square will go to the denominator as C square like this. So here one E get cancelled. So C square after taking out of the root, that C will becomes, and the remaining term is 2 m by E you get. So the ratio of wavelength of the proton to the electron is equal to C into under root of 2 m by E. So if you observe the third option, C into under root of 2 m by E, that is the correct option for this question. This question is related to photoelectric effect concept. Given which of the following represents the variation of photoelectric current with the property of light shown in the figure. Graphs are given for A, B, C, D graphs, photoelectric versus intensity of light, and photoelectric versus frequency of light. And you know that as the intensity more the number of electrons will be present, so more the photoelectric effect. So always the intensity of the light is Okay, proportional to photoelectric. That means photoelectric current is proportional to intensity of light. So the option A is correct. Only based on this one. Remaining is anyway second option not correct. Third option frequency. It is different for different materials. That's why we can't say exactly. So the first option is correct for this question.